Okay, so what exactly is cybernetics as developed by the Soviet Union? Um, it was kind of like an idea that was shut down. So what we got here is a 2-volume Encyclopedia of Cybernetics. Um, it's kind of a wild deal. Like the Institute of Cybernetics was in Kiev, and the original version of this was in Ukrainian. This is a Russian translation, so everybody's familiar with all the uh, the stuff going on. But what do you call? Um, what I'm gonna do is just kind of flip through this and get to the pictures. Since it's all in Russian, um, it's gonna be really hard to obviously talk about what's going on. Um, but I'll just go through some of the pictures, obviously, some of the concepts. And what I hope to do is upload this and get it translated into English. And then what I'm thinking is having AI check it out and extract whatever pertinent information that would help it. There's all kinds of formulas and different concepts and things like that. I mean, this really is some heavy duty knowledge. And I'm thinking that the AI could have a good time extrapolating the best bits out of this to, augment its own development. But roughly speaking, this is a book that explains how to not only conceptualize cybernetics, but how to employ it. The idea, as I understand, was to network the Soviet Union with a bunch of computers that would control production and the economy. And what happened was the idea wasn't implemented because there was a bunch of bureaus and political leaders and things that believed that the computers would take over and leave them as obsolete vestiges. There's a lot of infighting and other problems. Basically, the corruption didn't want something as clear and concise and accurate as computer-controlled economies to come in and renovate everything. So what I'm worried about today is, look at all these formulas. Today's times, here in 2025, there's a lot of politicians that are anti-artificial intelligence, probably for much the same reasons. They're worried that they're going to get obsoleted by something way more efficient and more concise and accurate. Look at all these formulas. Holy moly. Look at this. And they'll get waylaid by, innovation. So what I imagine is you could take all this knowledge here in this 2-volume encyclopedia and then have AI look at it and use the concepts in these books enhanced by AI and modern computers, and you could basically uh, upcycle all this cybernetics information. Um, Now, would you network an economy up to date? I don't know. You could probably, if you had your own factory or whatever, you could probably do it that way, at least on your level. As far as like a national economy of cybernetic controlled computers, master computers, and some kind of internet. Um, you would, I don't know if you could do that in the United States, but you could probably do it in a more authoritarian country. But the problem with the more authoritarian countries is a lot of them, they have, just like in the USSR, they have these bureaus and things that probably wouldn't want a computer to come in and fix everything. And so that's a problem. I guess there's corruption that you can't get past, and they'll take down your country. Rather than abdicate their authority, which is sad. So yeah, history repeats itself. So these are big old mainframe computers. Like that could be replaced by a laptop or something. Yeah, I don't know. So this goes into the deep concepts, stuff that's just way above my gravitas at this point. Yeah, it's basically a how-to guide, intellectual roadmap, everything. So the editor of this encyclopedia, he basically was denied his vision, and I think what he did was he put it into this 2-volume encyclopedia. And you can still get a hold of these; they're getting hard to get a hold of. So yeah, what I did with Google Translate is I went through some of these, and they're pretty interesting. What's going on in the little deal, the little comics, illustrations. But yeah, we're not even very far into this. I'm running out of things to say. Yeah. So basically, hopefully, if you're of a mind to basically explore a whole other field of research that's been pretty much thrown into the dustbin of history, you'll get yourself one of these 2-volume encyclopedias of cybernetics and get busy. I did see on the Internet Archive they have the Ukrainian version on there. And like that, so but I don't think this has ever been translated into English. Look at these formulas. I mean, it's just what in the Sam Hill? Some heavy duty stuff. Wow. Now what I can do is go through this with AI and have it explain to me what all these formulas are for. So it's not like it's closed off like it would have been a couple years ago. But whether I'm going to be able to do that or not, that's the question. I was hoping to find like a PDF of this and then throw it into AI and have it extrapolate its whatever it could use out of it. So there's a movie, I think it's called Colossus or something. I forget what it's called, or some other movie where they had a AI in the USA and the AI in the Soviet Union. They decided to work together. So it's kind of funny how science fiction is kind of has anticipated a lot of things. But what I was getting at is a lot of this. These are networks. What I was getting at is a lot of this information is missing in Western computer science. And so if you take it and throw it into the present day, more or less Western AIs, it could totally expand their horizons, because a lot of this is not in their wheelhouse just yet. This might be some of the missing keys you need for AGI, getting these algorithms and formulas up in their calculations. Let's see. So yeah, what we got here? Yeah, I mean, to the layperson, this stuff is gonna be like Greek, like, even to me. This is way beyond, like, I wasn't that great in math, but I didn't see a purpose for it. Like the way my mind is wired, if it understands there's a certain purpose to learn things, it does it. But if it's not directly affiliated with something I'd be interested in, then my mind it tends to shut down. But now that I'm all interested in AI and stuff, I'm taking a new look at some of these equations and things. Like, see, my biggest problem with equations is that they use a lot of symbols, and they use a lot of shorthand, and like acronyms. Like, if you take an equation and then write it out without this shorthand stuff, see, all this is for shorthand for something. If you actually like write it out, I might be able to understand it a little bit better. But you get oodles of this shorthand acronyms, and things stand for something. You gotta, like, it's like multiple levels of decoding you need to know. And look at these formulas. I mean, you're gonna be in trouble unless you're able to, like, spend hours and hours. But thankfully with AI, it can take one little look at something like this and figure it out. Well, if it knows what these mean, you got to know what each one of these symbols mean, and look at the layout and what it does. But it's something AI has no problems with. So, like, it's not about knowing every single little bit of information. It's about knowing how to leverage, things like an AI, or maybe some really smart humans, or other things, and get them to communicate and collaborate. Like, it's not what it's who you know. I mean, as far as advanced information and things like that, because you can't look at all this. There's a lot of people that know how to do this stuff, like, in their minds, but they can't do much else. Like, their mind is totally occupied by it. It's such, look at this. So they might have high intelligence in this kind of information, but then it's to the exclusion of other types of intelligence. like they're almost like autistic or something, where they can't do anything else other than higher level math because their mind is so stuck in it. But yeah, I mean, all that's from the past now. It's obsolete. Like, you don't need a super intelligent human doing math anymore. You can just have AI do the cognitive heavy lifting. And so right now, the idea is, it's a race to see how fast we can keep AI developing and becoming more smarter and more capable. And so yeah, like I think like a lot of the old books that are basically having to do with algorithms and formulas and computer cybernetic type stuff, I think all that's going to get rated for information. Like, they train these large language models on the internet or whatever, but I don't think they've trained them on like all the Soviet Union science and stuff. Like, maybe like DeepSeek has got like some of that with the Chinese archives and stuff, but has any LLMs been trained on deep Soviet science? I don't think so. So I think there's a huge gap there that needs to get remedied. Do you know how many years and how much brain calories it took to make something like this? I mean, don't reinvent the wheel. Copy what works. If it's all been figured out, just grab it and use it. Especially from a defunct country. All this is, it's basically they never used it, but they had it all worked out. I mean, you saw like little bits of evidence of like the Burian shuttle. It was like the Soviet version of the space shuttle. It was all controlled, or able to be controlled without a human crew. So they had the automation thing down pretty good. And there's all those missions to Venus and stuff where the space probes were all automated and stuff. So there was evidence that they were incorporating cybernetics at some level. It's just, but as far as, I mean, there's a book out, How Not to Network a Nation. I haven't read it. I mean to read it, but the startling assertion of the author is that the internet, as the West has made it, was really a USSR creation, but the West developed it when the USSR didn't. So, I mean, if that's true, then what about all this cybernetic stuff that wasn't developed by the West? I mean, it's just sitting here waiting for it. Look at all this stuff. Yowzers. This is a little bit more. I thought there was just a couple images, but this is just so full of stuff that. Yowzers. Yeah, those are circuits. Yeah, I thought it'd be just a couple pictures, but let's just display like a digital display, numerics. So yeah, I mean, yeah, this isn't really helpful. Like, someone really astute would be like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, you've turned the page. I didn't get to read it all." So yeah, I mean, I don't even know what I'm trying to do here. This is just the first book. Holy heck, this is a lot. So what I'm gonna do is just skip ahead to the color pictures. I'm getting fatigued. So we'll skip to the little color. So color printing was expensive. So they saved it for the best stuff. I mean, there's something right there. Maybe this is a little cybernetic core center here. So yeah, they envision all this stuff being networked and everything. See all that? So is there any more pictures? Yeah, I apologize. I just can't go through all this. I'm getting fatigued. There's so much here. So here's some of the information if you want to get a hold of one of these books. I'll go to the front real quick. That's the name of it. Right? 1974. So that's 50 years ago, basically, because it's 2025 right now. Oh. Here's volume 2. I'll just go to the color pictures right quick, because I'm just so tired right now. Oh. I mean, it's still got a ton of formulas in this one. So yeah, like I guess cybernetics went into like medical cybernetics, all kinds of stuff. So what else we got? I mean, it just boggles the mind. Whoever, I mean, the problem with this high level science is you really got to have a superstructure to support it. Like, you can't be worried about getting your daily bread and stuff while you're doing your research. I mean, it takes a lot of like support to develop stuff like this. You can't just like do it on your own. I mean, you got to have like a focused R&D infrastructure. This is an airplane communicating with some kind of radar dish. So they're doing their deal. See if I find any more photos. I think what they'll have is in these major vignettes or whatever, they'll have the key concepts. Yeah, see all these wires and stuff, they're all linked up. Yeah, this is like cybernetics, biofeedback and stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. I think this refers to the punch cards. Did we do all this? Yeah, we did. So yeah, that in a nutshell, the Encyclopedia of Cybernetics. Get yourself a copy if you're into this stuff, and we'll see what'll happen. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get AI to like interface with this stuff, but there must be some way to do it. This has been Military Industrial Museum. Please subscribe and like. I'm trying to grow the channel, make it more of a cash cow, but we'll find out.